Yo, what's going on everybody? It's Jthegreat here and welcome back to another Naruto video here today. And today I'm going to be discussing a very controversial topic within the Naruto verse, with that being Itachi versus Pain. So after the backlash I received from my ranking the Akatsuki video, which you should definitely check out if you haven't already, I definitely feel like I have some sort of obligation here to explain in depth my take on Itachi versus Pain. So to keep this video from being too long and too complicated, this video will be comprised of two separate scenarios that are the most relevant to this matchup, with those two being Prime Itachi versus the Six Paths of Pain and Prime Itachi versus Prime Nagato. So with this video, I'm going to put my best foot forward in an attempt to answer the million-dollar question: who would win, Itachi or Pain? Now I am fully aware that due to the sheer amount of ambiguity involved in this topic, there will always be disagreements and controversy revolving around this matchup. So guys, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And either way, whether you agree or disagree, I hope you enjoyed the video, but with all that out of the way, let's get straight to it. So when talking Prime Itachi versus the Six Paths of Pain, I must first start off by mentioning the Akatsuki organization itself, because it can be easily narratively implied that Pain is the leader of the Akatsuki, with Obito obviously being the actual leader behind the scenes. And from this we can also safely imply that all other members of the Akatsuki know that Pain is more powerful than they are, and hence is the key reason why they followed his orders in the first place. However, that doesn't work with Itachi due to the fact that he was undercover the whole time and only joined the Akatsuki to get on their good side and keep tabs on them, to keep the Leaf Village and Sasuke safe. So that kills the argument that because Pain is the leader of the Akatsuki, he must be more powerful than Itachi and must defeat him in battle if that were to take place. So, contrary to popular belief, the fact that Pain is the leader of the Akatsuki does not strongly suggest he's more powerful than Itachi. So to prove that Pain would defeat Itachi in battle, this piece of evidence would not suffice in doing so. So it's clear to us that the Paths of Pain would have the numbers advantage in this situation. But as we all know, the more Paths of Pain that Nagato has to control, the weaker they are individually, due to him having to spread his chakra more thin. Itachi would have no problem deciphering the Paths of Pain that have more troublesome abilities such as the Preta Path, and thanks to their low durability as evident by events such as Konohamaru destroying one with a Rasengan as a child, Itachi would have no trouble disposing of the weaker Paths of Pain, and would only have to worry about the stronger Paths of Pain such as the Diva Path. Now when it comes to Genjutsu, there is no evidence suggesting that a Rinnegan user is immune to Sharingan Genjutsu. In fact, there are feats suggesting that they are not immune to Genjutsu, such as when Obito fought Kakashi in a Kamui dimension and had a Rinnegan and was caught in several subtle Genjutsus, indicating that in fact a Rinnegan user is not immune to Genjutsu. Furthermore, Sasuke protecting Kakashi, Naruto, and Sakura from the greatest Genjutsu on earth, the infinite Tsukunome, also indicates that you do not need a Rinnegan to be protected from Genjutsu. In fact, it seems like you need a Susanoo to be protected from Genjutsu, with Pain obviously does not have, since he does not have a Sharingan. So from this, I can argue that Itachi would be able to successfully catch Pain in a Genjutsu, most likely due to his superior reaction time as indicated by the Edo Itachi versus Edo Nagato fight, where he easily sealed Pain. And once Pain were to be caught in that Genjutsu, primarily the Tsukuyomi, it would be over for him, since Itachi controls all things in that space once he catches you in it. Now, I don't want to downplay Pain too much. I know he has extreme abilities that would be troublesome to Itachi, such as the Chibaku Tensei and the Shinra Tensei. However, I want to save that for the second part of this video, since we actually see them fight and see those abilities at play. The final aspect I want to discuss before moving on to part 2 of this video is Obito's impression of both characters, with him having been knowing them on a very personal level and for a very long time. It can be easily narratively implied that Obito highly respects both characters, with him saying things such as, with Itachi out of the way, he won't have much risk of attacking the village, and with him saying he is surprised that the quote-unquote invincible Pain has finally been challenged, implying that he highly respects Pain. From these and other various statements, it is almost impossible to say who Obito thinks is stronger, since he never blatantly states who he thinks is stronger despite knowing them on a close personal basis for a very long time. However, there is only one statement where he blatantly states that one of these characters could have possibly defeated him in the right scenario, and it is when he said Itachi could have possibly killed him if he would have known more secrets about him. Now this implies that he believes that Itachi could have defeated him, like I said, in the right context. Now, I am aware this doesn't 100% prove that Itachi is stronger than Pain. However, it can be more easily implied that Itachi is stronger than Pain because of this fact and because of the statement that was said here. So now that I've covered all my bases for part 1 in this video, I just want to make it clear that I wanted to use part 1 as a place to discuss the more narrative implications that people like to use when arguing that Pain is stronger than Itachi, and also bring up a narrative implication of my own. But don't worry, in part 2 I will be going into specifics of both people's abilities based off the part 2 versions of each character. And I didn't want to get into specifics of part 1 because part 2, Prime Itachi versus Prime Nagato, is more similar to the encounter that we did see within the anime, which was Edo Nagato versus Edo Itachi. So like I said, now that we are going into specifics, on to part 2. So now that I am discussing Prime Itachi versus Prime Nagato, I must definitely reference back to the encounter that both characters had as Edo Tenseis during the war arc, because many people like to downplay what Itachi really did in that encounter, and I'm going to start off by saying Itachi on a consistent basis displays superior reaction times to Nagato in that encounter, with the first one being when he summoned Amaterasu instantly on Nagato after breaking free of the reanimation jutsu. Now I know some of you will counter by saying, well, Kabuto wasn't aware that Itachi had broken out of it and was the reason why he was able to catch Nagato in the first place. However, there was a feat shortly after which more concretely illuminates the fact that Itachi has more superior reaction times, which was when Killer Bee first tried to break Nagato's hold of Naruto when attempting to tear his soul out, but failed to do so because 1. Nagato was on guard, and 2. Nagato had superior reaction times to Killer Bee. However, he did fail to react to Itachi, who successfully broke Nagato's hold of Naruto, indicating more concretely, like I just said, that Itachi does have superior reaction times to Nagato. And to put more icing on the cake, again, he did successfully react before Nagato could after destroying Chibaku's Tensei by sealing him instantly before Nagato can even react. So these two feats, along with the other one that's more debatable when he Amaterasu'd him, indicate that Itachi does have superior reaction times. Now the final argument that I want to talk about that many pro-Pain lovers like to use when talking Itachi versus Pain is the argument that Itachi would not have been able to destroy Chibaku Tensei without the help of Naruto and Killer Bee. But the truth is, there is no 100% concrete objective way of proving one way or the other. And the bottom line, like I just said, is that Kishimoto made it pretty clear who he thinks is a superior shinobi in the encounter they had as Edo Tenseis during the war arc. And I'd even argue that without Killer Bee and Naruto in the way, Itachi would have defeated Pain even sooner. So guys, in conclusion, Prime Itachi would most likely beat Prime Pain due to superior reaction times as evident by the Edo Tensei encounter like I just said, and thanks to the anti-feats that I showed of Rinnegan users not being immune to Genjutsu, Itachi would most likely be able to catch Pain in a Genjutsu. So the fact that Itachi has superior reaction times and the fact that he can most likely catch Pain in a Genjutsu would highly suggest that in the event that Prime Itachi were to face Prime Pain in a fight to the death, Prime Itachi would most likely come out on top in most scenarios. And in conclusion, since I know you guys like to hear the specific results, I would say Prime Itachi would defeat Prime Nagato 7 out of 10 times with mid to possibly high difficulty, and would beat the 6 Paths of Pain 8 to 9 out of 10 times with mid to possibly high difficulty. So there you have it, folks. That is my take on Itachi versus Pain. Now I know even I threw implications that are not 100%, but the truth is with this video I wanted to kind of prove the fact that there is more on paper for Itachi and just literally that suggests he would beat Pain in the event that they were to fight to the death. And I know not all of you are going to agree with me, so please let me know what your thoughts are below. I would love to hear it. And who knows, maybe I changed your mind, so let me know if that happened also. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed either way. I want to thank you for all the support you've given lately and all the love. I will continue to make videos like this and reactions, of course, in the future. So please let me know of any other recommendations that you might have. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'll catch you in the next one. It's Jthegreat signing out. Peace.